Hi, and welcome to Blumenstein Audio's historical account of the development of the turbo encabulator. For a number of years now, work has been proceeding to perfect the crudely conceived idea of a cable that would not only supply inverse reactive current for use in unilateral phase detractors, but would also be capable of synchronizing cardinal gram meters. Such a machine is the turbo encabulator. Basically, the only new principle involved is that instead of power being generated by the relative motion of conductors and fluxes, it is now produced by the modial interaction of magnetoreluctance and capacitive diractance. The original machine has a base plate made of prefamulated amylite, surrounded by a malleable logarithmic casing in such a way that the two spurving bearings were in a direct line with a panometric fan. The latter consisted simply of 6 hygroscopic Marsal vanes, so fitted to the ambifacient lunar wane shaft that side fumbling was effectively prevented. The main winding is of the Lotus O deltoid type, placed in panendermic semi-boloid slots in the stator. Every 7th conductor being connected by a non-reversible trimmy pipe to the differential girdle spring on the up end of the gram meter. 41 monastically spaced grouting brushes were arranged to feed into the rotor slipstream a mixture of high S-value phenylbenzamine and 5% reminative tetralyohexidine. Both of these liquids have specific peristocities given by the formula P equals 2.5 C, where N is taken to the 6.7th power. N is the diethical evolute of the retrograde temperature phase disposition, and C is also Cholmondeley's annular grillage coefficient. Initially, N was measured with the aid of metapolar refractive pilfrometers. For a description of this unit, please refer to the work of Dr. David Blumenstein in Die Schrift für Elektrostatisch Donnerblitze, Volume 7, I believe that was. But up to the present date, nothing has been found to equal the transcendental Hopper datascope. See the proceedings of the Peruvian Academy of Scatological Sciences, dated June in 1914. Electrical engineers will appreciate the difficulty of nubbing together a regurgitative Purwell into a supraprimitive Winnel sprocket. Indeed, this proved to be a stumbling block to further development until in 1942 it was found that the use of anhydrous Nangling pins could be used to further enable a cryptonastic boiling shim to be tankered. The early attempts to construct a sufficiently robust spiral decommunicator failed, largely because of a lack of appreciation of the quasi-pistatic stresses in the gremlin studs. The latter were specifically designed to hold the roffet bars to the span shaft. When, however, it was discovered that winding could be effectively prevented by a simple addition to the living sprockets, almost perfect running was secured. The operating point is maintained as near as possible to the HF rim peak by constantly fromaging the bituminous spondrels. This is a distinctive advance on the standard nivel sheave, and that no dramic oil is required after the phase detractors have been remised. The operating point is maintained as near as possible to the HF rim peak by constantly fromaging the bituminous spondrels. This is a distinctive advance on the standard nivel sheave, and that no dramic oil is required after the phase detractors have been remised. Undoubtedly, the turbo encabulator system has now reached a very high level of technical development, and it has been successfully used for operating no for trunnions. In addition, whenever a Berescent score motion is required, it may be employed in conjunction with a drawn reciprocation dingle arm to reduce sinusoidal depleneration. Thank you for watching our historical account about the development of the turbo encabulator system.